problem, and we were racing to understand what it meant. And in some cases, it was really late to try to do that. Today I feel very different. I feel that people have been working incredibly hard to understand every detail and subtlety of what is complex, that there has been really good faith in the effort, that it has been really collaborative, as in it's been a conversation rather than simply the district doing something, that we have tried to learn from what the Filipino Ed organization knows, from what the BTU knows, from what immigration lawyers and advocates know, and from what you yourselves have been telling us in emails and in conversation. There is a structure in place that I think is as Mr. Jackson said, highly competent and highly dedicated in order to continue to work on this need. So this is a very short presentation because I do want to take some questions afterwards. And I just want to tell you where we are in this process. First of all, for me, what was really important was to establish systems that look to the future. That we couldn't simply be thinking in terms of what was going to happen in the next month, that we really needed to think 3-4 years ahead, since it is predictable that different people are going to be at different points of need at different points in the future. So we wanted to establish processes that were going to really look forward to 3-4 years from now, not just right now. Secondly, we understood, or I understood right away, that the nature of these questions require a kind of knowledge and expertness that is seldom found in school systems. School systems are not immigration authorities. Most of the legal expert is about school law. In human capital, most of the expertness is about human resource processes. And this clearly required something different. So we wanted a dedicated team. We knew that it was going to require enormous legal expertness, and we knew that it needed to be understood by the human capital office as something that was really core to how we were going to look at the work moving forward, and I think that we have that team in place. We wanted to ensure that we met all legal requirements, and I know that there's a lot of anxiety and conversation out there about what happened in Prince George's County. One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that we were not going to be Prince George's County. And I should tell you up front that we are not the subject of a lawsuit. We have not been served with any papers. We have not been contacted that I know about our practices. We are not a party to any audit or investigation. We are a district like Prince George's County that hired teachers from overseas because we couldn't fill our classrooms with teachers. But if there's anything out there that is all about Prince George's County, we have our own set of issues. And part of what we're trying to do is make sure that we are very smart about how we deal with those issues. And I'll give you a couple of facts later about how we're trying to make sure we're not there. And finally, we wanted to collaborate with our partners, and BTU is our partner in everything, and the Filipino Educators Organization as well, to make sure that the decisions that we were making were decisions that had real solid grounding in terms of people who have different perspectives about this work, and I feel fairly strong that we're there. So one of the things that we did was that we hired a law firm of Littler and Mendelsohn to be our counsel for visa applications and to advise us on any employment and immigration matters. And we've had to go back to the board twice already to ask for more money for the contract because it's a lot of work for them. But we've gone back to the board to increase the contract because we're committed to make sure that the work is done in the right way. So we have a real expert in terms of the process. So far, we have processed 107 individual legal and filing fee reimbursement requests, and all outstanding requests will be processed by October 30th. And that's one of the ways in which we're now Prince George's County, in that we didn't go back to court to say we're not going to do this or things had not been done. We basically, the moment that we understood that there was a problem, we said, well, let's own it, so that if there's ever a conversation about what the district has done, and I think these things matter tremendously. What we can say is that, why are you bothering with us? We have tried really hard to do the right thing. So by October 30th, all outstanding requests will be processed, and part of what we've been doing along the way is making sure that we have the right documentation and that people have the right information about what gets processed. All teacher H-1B visa applications since September the 30th have been filed, and all renewals with October through December 2011 expiration dates are now in process. And one of the things that we have been very conscious of is that we cannot possibly treat this as an issue that has one solution, that we have to make sure that we understand where every single teacher is in this process, so that we do not miss a single timeline, a single explanation that can be given. The permanent residency application process takes approximately 18 months. And what we have been asked to do is to do a market test that we need to complete within 6 months in that. So what we are doing is we are starting the market test in critical needs areas in September this month and October next month. So by the end of next month, we will have put in place or done all the required steps that we're going to be asked to document when the process of submitting permanent residence applications for individuals takes place. And part of the reason why we're going to do this very aggressively is that in the cases where we see across the country, not simply in Baltimore City, where we see denials, part of what we're seeing is a lot of attention being paid to the efforts of the district to prove that in fact they had done what they needed to do under the law. So this piece is about the burden of the law, and it's a threshold piece that we have to do, and at some point we're going to need to come back in front of you and tell you this is what happened as a result of those steps. Since different areas, it's our expectation, are going to result in different elements in the conversation. As in, it might be possible that in some areas we meet the test, and in other areas we